Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you all about the latest album from Infected Rain, Endorphin, out October 18th on Napalm Records. This album has 10 tracks, 40 minutes in length, and this is the band's fourth full-length studio album. For the fans of the band, I really feel like this is a welcoming addition to their collection. They build on what they've done in the past, and they bring a brand new, reinvigorated sound to the forefront with this album. There's a few things that you're going to be able to expect from this album. Great vocals, both clean and harsh vocals are absolutely amazing on this record. Really phenomenal work from a vocal perspective. Groovy riffs, great melodies, aggression, intensity, and even atmospheric and electronic elements. Those were used more as intro to songs, not as much as the meat and bones of the tracks or the structure of the record. And I almost feel like they could have really used it a little bit more. They could have really incorporated more deeper into the tracks, made it a little bit more of a significant piece of the pie as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this album. They didn't, they just kind of took bits and pieces, like I said, used them more for intros. It works well for their sound, but I really feel like they could have really expanded on their sound by using it a lot more on their tracks, or at least using it in more important roles, not just as intros, but a little bit more important roles within the songs and overall within the structure of the record. Now, the album is very linear in structure, now that I'm talking about structure. It doesn't really offer too much of a swing or changes. Those changes happen more on the individual track side of things. It does not happen on the overall flow of the album. This is an album that where the tracks do change from song to song. You do get a different structure, a different feel, a different approach from song to song, and that gives each song a very independent fingerprint. But then when you listen to the album as a whole, it still sounds as one. It still sounds very compact, very cohesive, and that overall gives this really straight linear feel to the record without a lot of twists and turns, with no curveballs really coming at you as far as the record overall structure is concerned. I already mentioned a little bit about vocals, but I really want to say this. Lena's vocals are absolutely phenomenal on this record. I really like I like the harsh vocals, don't get me wrong, but I really like the clean vocals. They bring a different atmosphere to the tracks. She's really able to use them to give a little bit of a dark vibe, to really bring a little bit of hauntiness to the way she delivers the vocals, and that to me adds a very good flavor to the songs. It just adds a different feel. And then when you mix harsh and clean on the same track, it really allows the song to have these up and down moments that you don't feel as predominant throughout the record, but you really feel them within the individual songs. As far as guitars are concerned, I really like the grooviness of the guitar. Very gent, very groovy, very dynamic, psychedelic at times. There really has this psychedelic element at times when you mix them in with a little bit of a synthesizer, with a little bit of electronic sound. It does give a little bit of that psychedelic feel to it. But overall, I really like the guitars on this album. They were a very good component. They were a very good partner to the vocals. To me, those were the two, without a doubt, the two standout elements as far as this record is concerned. Overall, this to me is a good album. It's not a standout album, it's not a magnificent record, it's a very good record. A record that shows a next step within the band, but still very close to their roots and very close to what they've done in the past. So it's not a complete, there's not a complete gap, there's not a complete departure from what they've done. Very similar to what they've done in the past, with a few transitions, with a few changes, but overall a good record, just not one of those outstanding records. I just feel like specifically this year, and within this month, these last 2 months, there's been other records with similar sound that just to me were a little bit better put together, that had a little bit more meat on the bones. So I felt that when I listened to this record, to me, my experience was a little bit diluted by the fact that there's other records out there that have the similar style, that just really outshined, that really surpassed my expectations. So overall, a good record, but not a magnificent record. As far as songs are concerned, I want to talk about 3 songs that really piqued my attention, if you will, outside of the singles that they've released. And I want to start with Earth Mantra. This is the opening track on the album. To me, the perfect opening track. When I look at all the songs on the record, this really is the one that should be the opening track, and it is. It has a very aggressive opening riff, so it really starts off with a punch, with a strong volume at the beginning. The vocals come in to match the overall aggression that the track has. There's great groovy riffs on this song that really weave themselves in and out of the track. After the initial barrage, the track really dips into a more electronic, atmospheric bridge that really slows down the song, really pumps the brakes. it really brings you into this very melancholic vibe that the song has, very atmospheric in nature. Then after that, once you see the light at the end of that tunnel, and by the way, this is one of the songs that they use a little bit more of those atmospheric elements as the meat and bones of the track, and that's why I said earlier that I almost wish they had used it more. They used it a lot as intros, but not as much within the tracks themselves, and I almost wish they had used it more, because this track is a perfect example of how well could it work within the song. Anyways, at the end of the light, at the end of that dark, embracing tunnel, you see finally the light, and then everything comes back again with the aggression, the intensity starts up again. It's a song that really has two momentums. It has melody and aggression. It really switches between the two, but it has a very good blend of both, and it really blends them well into a way that you don't really feel like there's a break within the track. Next, Symphony of Trust. I really like the synthesizer opening on the song, then merging with the clean vocals. It has a little bit of an atmospheric feel to it, and I really like the sound that it gives to the song, and I like the easiness that it gives you getting into the track, and then how the clean vocals merge in with it, and really stay as the track progresses. I really like that. The vocals are really amazing. Harsh vocals come in later on the track, but the first portion of the song, those clean vocals are absolutely phenomenal. They just have such a beauty to it. There's just a melancholic vibe to it. It's just really well put together with that intro that the song has. The song turns the aggression on, harsh vocals come in, and the harsh vocals really match the intensity that the track has musically. So I really like the changing dynamics from the vocals match the changing dynamic of the song. So bringing in the clean vocals back again to the chorus really allows the song to have this counterbalance between verses and chorus, where the verses is a lot more robust, a lot heavier, a lot thicker, with harsh vocals, and then you have a more melodic, a more stripped down approach in the chorus with the clean vocals. I really like the melody and the balance between the two. It just creates this yin and yang within the song that works extremely well for this track. Last but not least, Walking Dead. A song that has a really mellow intro, very atmospheric intro, perhaps one of the most atmospheric intros of this record. Once that fades out, the song starts to get a lot of strength, starts to pick up. The alternating between harsh and clean vocals on this song really allow the song to have a very cool dynamic without being one of those really fast tempo or super energetic tracks. In my opinion, the melody that surrounds the clean vocals on this song is absolutely magnificent. It really elevates the clean vocals themselves, and it really makes them shine over everything else. A song that has these two very distinct features, but closing off the track, it closes with a lot of aggression, a lot of intensity. It really comes at you like a freight train, and it's the perfect way, in my opinion, to close off this track, because it started off so melodic, so atmospheric, so dark, so melancholic, and then it finishes off with just an absolute barrage of drums, guitars, and vocals. Really heavy ending to this track, to be a complete and polar opposite of how it started. So you could have gone both ways. You could have gone full circle and ended the same way it started, but I really like the aggressive punch that this song carried towards the end. Alright guys, this is it for me. This is Infected Rain with Endorphin, out October 18th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the singles, on the band, on the album. Really looking forward to hear what you have to say about this record, because to me this is going to be one of those albums that's going to spark a lot of discussion. So let me know what you think. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those as always and getting back to you. Take care guys.